Hello everyone, my classmate is Miller Pineda, and now we are going to be discussing about the lexical approach method. Continue. The lexical approach method gained popularity back in 1993 when his founder Michael Lewis proposed that language consists in grammaticalized lexis rather than lexicalized grammar. In other words, lexis is central in creating meaning, and grammar plays a secondary role in managing meaning. We can say too that we have to focus on lexis rather than focus on grammar. Continue. Okay. The lexical approach method is a way of teaching that is based on the idea that language is made up of lexical units rather than grammatical structure. According to this theory, lexis, which is vocabulary, is central in language and plays an important role in language. We can say that language consists of lexical chunks. And now, what is a lexical chunk? A lexical chunk is a set of words that usually are found together. And we can say that lexical chunks are like collocations. Here we have some examples. These lexical chunks we usually use every day in our lives. So for example, greeting like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Response fine, I'm very good, and you. All the lexical chunks. What do you do that usually we use all the time? We can find in lexical chunks, for example, when you go shopping, we expect that the person that is gonna buy something say something like I'm looking for, I'm asking for, and the seller says something like how can I help you, or what are you looking for, or what size do you want? I'm gonna give you a comparison between Chomsky theory and Michael Lewis theory. While Chomsky theory says that human can create infinity sentences with infinity set of rules, Michael Lewis says that only a minority of spoken language is completely new. The other are the same lexical chunks. I think that the Chomsky theory says that we can create new words that we haven't seen before or that haven't heard before in our lives, and this says that we are usually using the same chunks and the same lexical phrases. Okay, some advantages about this method. The first advantage is that students feel encouraged with the learning material that some teachers bring for them. The other is that teachers feel more confident with the clear processing in their students. And this method brings fluently to the second language acquisition. Disadvantages. Students don't learn proper grammar, of course, because with this method we don't teach grammar. The other disadvantages is that some students can lose his creativity because they are always using the same chunks and the same phrases. And the lack of theory learning. Okay, finally, these are the objectives of this method. The first one is to get students to become aware of, use, and to eventually master terms and collocation. This is like the major objective of this method, that the students will become to use new lexical chunks and to make new utterances or in their sentences. The second one is to help learners identify and learn the chunks in spoken and writing text. To identify the lexical chunks that are in some text and that are in some spoken language. Language is learned inductively by breaking down whole into parts. The proponents of this method say that a student will be able to break down some lexical chunks to make new utterances.
The main characteristic of the language approach method is that language is made up of lexical units rather than grammatical structures. It means that when people are learning in this method, people don't used to learn grammatical basis, they learn this in a different way, in a different use. So they also emphasize in successful communication language that consists of lexical chunk. As my partner says, lexical chunk are like phrases, short phrases, like he's happy, that's okay, that's good. Get the capacity to understand and produce lexical efficiency. It refers to fluency, that people don't talk like, that means that the person is thinking what he's going to say. So is to have the capacity to talk with any environment and teach whole phrases, not individual sounds. It means that when people are learning, they don't need to learn a specific sound, like for example how to pronounce teacher. Teacher, no. My teacher is a good professor, that's all. The teacher's role, the teacher is the guidance of the student, and it is so essential because without the teacher there wouldn't be knowledge that they could acquire. Also, when teachers are teaching with this method, what they do is that they recognize the mistakes, and later on they give them the feedback, and they motivate to the student in a different way. How to motivate the student? Like saying, well, you need to correct your mistakes, you need to be clear of those mistakes, and why did you do those mistakes? The advantages, well, it is something more global, or almost as how I do, but grammar exploration instead of grammar explanation. It means basically that the student is going to take care of or be conscious of what they are learning. And the creation of complete phrases instead of creation of words. As I said before, it is not only learn how to produce a word like teacher, it is the whole phrase that it is necessary to learn how to write and read and to listen. And I guess the meaning of vocabulary, I think from context, basically I think that it is so clear. Also the advantage as a student is that it method is specifically intensive in the listening and the reading part. So the process that the student is doing is better than any other method. The encourage with the learning material. The material it changed a lot, but it is something that was not possible to find. What we found in the articles or in videos was that lexical approach is something that has not a lot of study about it, a lot of research. It is helpful to be motivated and to have step-by-step learning process. As we all know, to learn a language, a new language, a second language, it's necessary to take care and to go step by step, no jumping steps, because if you do that, that means that there are some parts that you're lacking. And the advantage of the teacher is a clearly defined progressive course. It means that the students will have to learn in, for example, with a book, or not exactly with a book, for example, with a song. But what this method does is that it go in one way. The lexical phrasing practice brings fluency in second language acquisition, as I said before, and the lack of theory. And finally, the examples of activities implemented in the classroom is find someone who. It is related to describe a person, so it helps to get vocabulary, grammar, and well, basically that is what is lexical. With the sounds, it contains a lot of lexical production, but it also produces a lot of speaking part. But more than that, the listening part is bigger. And the odd one out, it is related to have a word in, and for example, it's synonyms or some word that is opposite to this one. And what we do is to refer to the word that is different from the others.